Where are we visible?
Are we visible now? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, my hair's standing up. Hi, everyone. I'm Paul Spacey, and hi. I'm the director for Mammoth Lakes, and thank you all for being here with us to discuss Desire Path. And let's see, Marjorie, where are you?
I'm in the pink.
Oh, there you are. Backward in pink.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's our girl light. Anyway.
Wow, so it was so cool to watch this film again. I cranked the volume all the way up, and it looked. I think I didn't watch it at night the first time, so at night it kind of really comes to life.
Yeah, for us too. It's been a while.
So I guess one thing that pops to mind is just all the incredible techniques you use. Particularly visually, but obviously also in the soundtrack. Did you guys do a ton of testing and experimentation?
Did we?
On set, yeah, we just kind of jumped into it. Yeah, it's my personal obsession, the blur and the strobing and the slow motion and the thermal. I just really like that stuff. So everybody indulged me with that. So.
Yeah, and I'm sorry. Let's introduce everyone. Who all is here? Just go ahead and introduce yourself.
Well, there's me. I'm Andrew. We did the audio. I was in there. What else did I do?
He did the catering. He made all the sushi.
Yeah, I did our jalapeno sushi. I think that was Otto's favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I loved it.
And,
yeah, that was up there for me too.
We don't have to ask you what you did on the film. You look amazing, by the way. What's that headdress?
This?
Yeah.
This is my triangle.
That's
my Bermuda Triangle logo that I actually wore in the film.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Thank you.
What else do we have? We have Mackenzie and Aiko.
Hey, Mackenzie Mathis, of cinematographer. Good to see you again, Paul.
Oh yeah, amazing work. Yeah.
I'm Aiko. I was one of the editors.
Oh, nice. And let's see, we have DL here.
Oh, me. Hey, Dan. I was gaffer. Did the lighting, and me and a bunch of really great kids from the film school nearby.
Oh, amazing. And Sandra.
Hello. Yeah, hey, I did the makeup and the makeup and effects. That's sort of me. My job in life was to paint Otto.
Yeah. As well.
And me.
Yeah. That's it.
Okay, but I didn't have to paint you much.
No, but I was like severely breaking out at that point. I had a lot of spots on my skin.
See, I wasn't gonna rat you out.
So when watching the film, like the atmosphere is so rich and intense and pointed. Like was there lightness on the set, or were people kind of staying in character, or what was it like actually shooting it?
For me, it was very intense. We were shooting all night for about 13 nights, and there was ice or sandbags froze. There was no insulation in our shed world, so our actors were amazing. And they're very light costumes. So yeah, it was a very intense, concentrated time for me. But I think, everybody had a different experience, and I think I was a little more in my head about it. But yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, we have a comment from the audience from Sloan Creek. It says, "Dan, I love you."
Oh, Sloan.
Hi, Sloan.
Yeah.
Sloan's one of our groups.
Yeah. So maybe Mackenzie, can you tell us a little bit about what like I guess uh, you know coming at this whole project with
Clementine.
oh, there's Clementine.
Sorry, guys. I had a minute to, technology. Sorry about that. I'm here.
Clementine is one of the producers. So
Thanks for being here.
yeah. So Marjorie has this obsession with this particular aesthetic, and so what was your experience, Mackenzie, of running with that?
Oh, I thought it was great. I mean, our script was really short and minimal. I think it was like 11 or 12 pages. And so I felt like it gave us a lot of room to really, try things out. As I remember, all the freelancing stuff kind of came about just by, not necessarily accident, but, we were kind of setting something up and we were blurring it, but it wasn't quite right. Just, the mechanical movement of the camera. And so I just took the lens off and showed Marjorie, hey, what about this? And then now like 70% of the film is that, So it was a really nice, free sort of experimental set, I thought.
Yeah. The sequence that I personally love the most is the one where you're seeing the image is kind of like strobing off and on and off and on, and then there's like another image like off to the side when they're walking outside.
Yeah.
That was really wild. Was that done in camera or was that in post?
That was, I mean, I believe it was all just strobing back and forth between two shots, right? We just had a lockdown camera and then recorded both characters doing it separately without moving anything, and then they would just flip between the two shots in post. There's a lot of manual cutting. It looked like I was sitting next to her while she was doing it a lot.
Well, all the job was done by the director.
Oh yeah, Marjorie did all that kind of.
Both did it. We both did it. And I think Gabriel is on here. He also did some editing work on the film. So it was a real collaboration between everyone.
So Otto, like you're such a kind of like a warm and presence like on Zoom. Like, how did you find that character?
It was such a great time for me because I landed at night and I don't even know where I landed, and I think it was Austin, Texas, but I get to like an Airbnb, which is like 4 houses down from where we were shooting, and it all seemed very haunted to me. There was fog. It was always 3 a.m, same time every day. Every day there was fog. I was kind of terrified to walk back to the Airbnb, and it was January. It was a weird time, and I don't know. I just felt like I dove right into character. It was freezing. I didn't have a lot of clothes. I didn't bring any, and I don't know. I was in the vampire mode, and I was just dropping a record about totally different type of vampire, so it was good to get out of that character and be more into this character.
Well, so Marjorie, tell us a little bit about like putting together this whole crew and your actors, your collaborators. Is this a lot of the same people that worked on Chemical Cat?
Yeah, a lot. Mackenzie, Dan, I met Clementine through Slam Dance. And in terms we had a lot of local crew, and in terms of the actors, we had Elliot Lip reach out to Otto. And then that's how we made that connection. And Amy, we found on social media, and that's how we cast her. Yeah, and I intuitively felt she was right from the start, so I only auditioned her.
Yeah.
As well.
What's Amy's story? Is she local to? You shot in Austin, right?
Yeah, she's local to Austin. Yeah. And she's a very, very strong performer. She was able to endure a lot. She's able to cry on demand. constantly. I constantly asked her to cry. But you know, she does it in a very stoic way too. So that's great. I mean, I love how they both hide a lot from the camera, conceal a lot from the camera. So the film always sort of keeps a distance from the viewer in a nice way for me personally.
Yeah, yeah. So tell us a little. The sound design is so bold. Tell us a little bit about how you put it together and how you thought about it.
The sound design, it was just like it was a mess. It was like a mess of all kinds of random audio we put together. A lot of it was recorded in Seattle, some of it in Austin. All of the audio was done in Renoise, a tracker, which is totally atypical for film. Otto knows all about Renoise. Otto loves Renoise, just like me.
Very hard to make a film on Renoise, for sure.
Yeah, it was like Renoise, Ardour is what we used, and then
Renoise, is that like a software or what is that?
yeah, it's like it's a composition software. It's kind of archaic in the sense that it's like, I don't know, like all
It's a
old things.
tracker.
Yeah.
You can literally not use your mouse and just use your keys to create.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, there's just like a mix of all kinds of stuff in there. It was done really rapidly. Like a lot of the stuff I did in 10 or 15 minutes. And I just said, we're going to use that.
But it took months. It took months because Andrew is sick a lot of the time. So it was done through a lot of pain.
Yeah, a lot of pain. And
so he would just get the energy to do it and then knock it out in 10 minutes. And that's what we would use for each scene. So we kind of wanted just a very ambient film and not a lot of vocals, not a lot of dialogue, and keep it pretty quiet. Yeah, overall, I like a slow film and a quiet film that makes you kind of slow down a little bit and give in, you know?
So someone mentioned that there was not a lot of script. How different is the final film from what you originally visualized?
It's pretty close. I feel like I cut a lot out of the 11 pages even.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, for me, the film is a lot about these repetitive gestures, and we found that in editing mostly. And I feel like it's a fill in the gap movie where there are all these interruptions with these blackouts, and it's frustratingly slow, and you're sort of trapped with them. There's no happy beginning. She doesn't have a bunch of friends she talks to in the beginning, you know, contentedly, you know, it's just jumps in and we're stuck, and she's programmed by the film to go through with this cycle until she's alone.
Yeah, I mean, she really needs more of a support system, I
feel. Yeah, dangers of isolation.
So we have some, let's see, this is from the audience. Alessandra Jara del Castillo says, amazing work, everyone.
He was part of our crew, Second AC.
Yeah, and Amisha Aziz says, loved it, Marge. Oh,
he's a great friend.
We're having a major earthquake in LA right now.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Oh.
Wow.
We might feel that in Seattle soon.
Yeah, we might feel that here.
Oh my gosh, that was an intense earthquake. Okay.
Okay.
Whoa.
Oh, that was a big one. Anyway, it's okay.
Oh.
LA. So yeah, I guess we'll keep going. Okay, Misha Aziz said, loved it, Marge. Oh, and then we have a comment from Mark Chua and Lamley Schwen, who made one of the other films in the festival, Revolution on Direct.
Oh.
They said, hey guys, really enjoyed the film. We were curious to hear from everybody how different was the process of making this film from making Chemical Cut.
Whoa. I have something to say about that. I thought it was extreme. It was basically the polar opposite. Chemical Cut, Dan and I would drive down to LA every month or two for a week, and we would shoot this heavily storyboarded film. Like every shot in Chemical Cut was storyboarded. and it was all on location. We were switching locations at least once a day. And then Desire Path, we were all stuck there together for 2 or 3 weeks straight in the same location. It felt like we were kind of reliving the same day over and over. It's super cold and uncomfortable when we're outside and we never saw the sun. So yeah, it was a very different experience. Both very gratifying from my perspective, but very different. Maybe Dan would have something to say about that too, since he was on the film.
Anyone else wanna jump in on that?
Dan?
Dan, do you?
Yeah, no, I agree with Mackenzie. Very, very different processes. Even just lighting the same shack for 2 weeks, as opposed to going all over Los Angeles. Hi, little buddy.
Hey, it's the little guy.
Sorry, guy. Sorry, it's Papo, I'm on a meeting.
Let's hear from whoever we heard from. Let's hear from Aiko and Sandra and Clementine. How was your experience? Why don't you start, Aiko?
It was, I never worked with anyone else, like when I edit film, like mostly just like there's a director next to me and then give me the direction how to edit, or like they told me to the image that they want. I suppose and then like in this movie I thought it was quite unique way to make it. So there wasn't one more person to edit with us besides me and Marjorie, and the process is like feeling another guy, Gabriel, and I are trying to make the fill up, trying to complete the jigsaw puzzle with large pieces, and then based on that piece, Marjorie make it with the smaller pieces.
Yeah.
And then from the beginning, like Marjorie gave us like a lot of freedom on editing. Like she didn't. I don't remember like she specified like how she wanted, but like she just like give us a footage and let us really edit, and then like she picked handpicked the parts that she liked and then assemble it on her own. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the process, and I learned so much from like her editing style too. I was so honored to work with her.
Oh,
And
thank
you.
It's a pleasure.
Okay, we just have a few more minutes, but Sandra, do you want to share a little bit of your experience or an anecdote or something?
Well, I didn't get to play with chemical cuts, so I didn't get to hang it. This is my first experience working with all these people, and work with Marjorie. I've done several films. I think this is number 14, but it's number like 9 or 10 for the effects and stuff. But Marjorie actually was one of the very few directors that actually gave me enough time to do more creative things. So I almost fell over at one point, and there was some shot that we were doing with Otto where he was having to bleed and have a little blood run. And if I didn't get it right the first time, I didn't like it. And Margie's like, "Oh, if you don't like it, we'll do it again." I was like, "Whoa, wait, what?" So it was really nice to have a director that was really more concerned with the art that she was making than how fast she could run it out the door.
Nice.
Can I piggyback on that? Because I don't think. I just want to say that to me, what was really exciting about this project is that everyone involved was just there to support Marjorie's vision. even though, you know, I think there's the duality of the restriction of the freezing cold, the fact that we had a small budget, that we were all wearing like 5 different hats, that it was night all the time. But at the same time, there was always also this freedom of, actually the script, I'm pretty sure was 18 pages for a while. For a while. But there was also this freedom to let Marjorie just explore her vision. And then for Mackenzie to try freelancing, and for Dan to try lighting things differently, and for Sandra to redo a shot, you know, and like for Otto to like try and get into character. I'm sure I'm missing everybody because I'm not seeing your faces, but you know, there was this freedom to these restrictions as well. And I think that ultimately we were all there to support Marjorie's like artistry and vision, no matter what like that led us to, right? So I just wanted to say that.
Awesome, that's awesome. And so I should also mention this is the world premiere, and we're so honored that you had your world premiere at Mammoth Lake. So
I was so happy. I'm so glad to be here. I really look forward to it.
yeah.
And I believe Clementine also saged Otto for him to get into character. If you remember,
I forgot about that.
wanted to conjure the demons. Yeah.
Thank you.
Before I forget, this film is eligible for the Audience Award, so don't forget to vote. You can vote right in your in the window on Eventive. And let's see, we have one more question. Oh, a comment. Jason Bledsoe said, thoroughly enjoyed the film. Congratulations to you all on a job well done. Art.
Oh, can we mention too also, Jason is from the Noisatron record scene, which is this.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, he basically opens up the film, that record.
Yeah, thanks, Jason.
Thanks.
And Emma Croy said, so excited to see this project come to fruition. Congratulations. And then, okay, so Elijah Juan Butler said, this film differs stylistically from Chemical Cut very drastically, and I was curious if it was a conscious choice on Marjorie's part to deviate from that approach, or a project-specific approach.
Yeah, I definitely felt really restricted with Chemical Cut because of the narrative constraints, where you sort of had to get that dialogue out and keep the story moving. And it felt like a lot of the atmospheric shots that Mackenzie and Dan had worked on, I couldn't really insert them without breaking the momentum. So I felt extremely frustrated by that. And I decided that freedom was the most important thing to me. And for the making of a film, and also for the viewer, I find that narrative can be a form of coercion sometimes, and I want them to just come to the film and fill in the blank. And if there's meaning for them, you know, it'll show up when it's relevant for them.
Yeah. So I know you're probably just in the throes of getting this baby out into the world, but do you have other projects lined up?
I do, yeah. I have a documentary that I'm working on with Andrew about a completely different thing, a connective tissue disorder that's considered rare but isn't. And then that's very lo-fi and remote. And then also another remote sort of lo-fi feature about the simulation theory and schizophrenia. But yeah, so we'll see what happens with that. But I'm excited about those two.
Amazing. That sounds really fascinating. Yeah. Well, thanks so much for being with us and for chatting about the film. And yeah, if you guys want to, I know it's late for everyone, but we're going to have a little Zoom hangout afterwards if you want to join us. So yeah, but it's great to talk with you. Thanks for being at Mammoth Lakes. And that's our Q&A. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Love you all.